Today's economic times are all over the place, and I have people talking to me in the office, outside of the office, all the time about like, what are you investing in? What's not working? What is working? And I tell you what, I have a very simple answer for you. How about you consider investing in you? You are a good return on investment. And when you invest in you or your smile, that's what we're here to talk today about, our smile stories and how they can be life-changing. And that's it. Like, I'm so excited because that is what we are all about. I am here today with Laura Lewis Edwards, Dr. Jody Dana.
So happy to have
my little counterpart.
That's right.
And I'm Dr. Jill.
Partners in crime.
Partners in crime.
I have to clarify, partners in crime, because you guys have a thriving, wonderful cosmetic and general dentistry practice in Frisco, Texas, which is right outside of Dallas. So you're listening or watching and you need someone to make your smile just gorgeous. These are the ladies to do it. So Stonebriar Smile Design.
For a long time.
Yes.
We have a lot of experience.
Right.
We were trained right here in Dallas, Texas at what we used to call Baylor College of Dentistry. Mm-hmm. And we were so blessed early on in our career to have a ton of training in cosmetic dentistry, didn't we?
The mentors that we had in our grad program, because we went through dentistry, our dental school, and we knew that we wanted to take our skills to another level. So that allowed us to be a part of a AEGD program, which is Advanced Cosmetics. And we had some of the top professors in the world that were teaching us. And we just got to be a part of it because it was our grad program. It's funny now because the people that are doing that right now don't have access to what we had access doing. And we're so blessed. We are so blessed. Not to mention the 75 hours of continuing education that we have to get every single year in order to keep up with our credentials. So you want to make sure if you're investing in yourself and your mouth to invest in making sure that the doctor that you're going to is invested in their career.
So true. I know we talked about this a lot.
We did.
In a 3-series episode on the Beyond Face Value show. I don't honestly remember exactly which episodes they were.
Well, I don't remember the numbers, but if you look at, like, if you want to go to our YouTube channel or go to your favorite podcast, if you're just listening, just go and you'll find 3 in a row. It's going to be, I think we did it. It's like, what is a smile makeover? Why?
The processes of the smile makeover.
Yeah, why and well, I think how or when. I don't know. We covered all of it.
We did a lot.
What, how, why, when. So there's 3 of them
so
like
what's
that.
there left to cover at the end of the day, ladies? Well, what I really want to get into is just what I was saying a few minutes ago. The economic times are so crazy right now. Everything's changing. Nobody knows what to invest in. And so in my mind, I want people to stop thinking about it being teeth that they're investing in. I want them to realize that this is a life-changing story for many people.
Yeah.
To actually achieve the smile that maybe they've always dreamed of or always wanted. Now is the best time to do that because you are a sure thing.
Well, people always are coming to me and saying, why would I spend that kind of money on my teeth? And I was like, I don't understand where they're coming from with that, because your teeth are an enhancement of who you are as a person. Anytime you smile, anytime you talk, anytime you're meeting someone, that's the first thing that they see about. And it doesn't need to be just because you're in the public. This is personal. It's something that you feel personally that makes you feel better about who you are as a person.
I always say yes, we are designing a new smile, but what we're doing is we're restoring your confidence. And that goes a long way. And really, to me, it's priceless.
Yes.
You can't actually put a dollar amount on that.
Right.
There's so many things that have been going on with COVID and everybody's overall health and well-being. It is time for us to lead the charge that, hey, now's the time to invest in you, to get well, to get healthy, to build your confidence back up, to grow old gracefully, as we were talking about a little while ago.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And we believe that a smile makeover and that may mean more than you think it does, and it may mean less than you think it does.
Right.
It doesn't always, not everybody needs veneers. This could be multiple things. But what I wanted to really focus on today is the storytelling about this. We always have approached what we do, that we are not just building a smile that's the same smile for every single person. There's a unique individual behind those beautiful eyes. This is the window to their soul, and we want to design something specifically for them that's just perfect. And so these smile stories that we are a huge part or piece of making it happen, we want to start to really share those stories with you. So not only are we going to share 2 stories with you today, some personal stories, but we are also, I want everybody to be paying attention and watching and going to our website at stonebriersmiledesign.com, because we actually have a whole section, and every single month we are going to be highlighting a very detailed new smile story
about it.
Yeah.
About it. I mean, the people that we enhance their smiles, they're from every walk of life, from young to older. And the reason behind making the decision to do that is individual to them. From the grandmother whose grandchild said something negative about their smile, to a gentleman who had been married for many years and his wife passed away and it's been 5 years and he's ready to get in the dating world again. The stories and the information that we extrapolate from our patients about what's important for them is what's important for us. And it's important for the outcome at the end.
I'm going to a wedding tomorrow night and a wedding on Sunday night of 2 young ladies who both have had their smiles redesigned, and we will be sharing their smile stories as soon as I can. I was told I could not share the beautiful pictures I've already seen until after the weddings.
Yeah.
But these are life-changing events, and that is what makes, I don't know, me enjoy so much what we do.
It's not just
personally.
about drilling and putting in a filling. It's about a life-changing event.
Right.
Exactly.
I mean, and a smile makeover, and when we're talking about porcelain veneers primarily, where you're either someone has like their teeth are a little bit maybe crooked, that they don't really need orthodontics, that you guys can make it look cosmetic, and they don't really need it for health reasons, that you are designing their unique smile with those veneers and giving them a straighter, more beautiful smile. Or it's somebody who has gotten older, which our teeth do get darker as we age. And, it's really evident, especially if you're going to go to a high school reunion like I'm going to this weekend. And, you see, and it's really challenging for me because I am a fan of smile makeovers. I am a fan of doing things to make me feel that maybe look as young as I feel. And I will be sharing some stories today. I'm here not only as a co-host, but I'm going to share my honest stories and my experience about all this. But it the investing in yourself with a smile makeover, people have choices if they're cosmetically like, well, what am I going to do? I'm going to do a little aesthetics like you guys do in your practice for your lips and things like that, where it's injectable fillers and Botox. Or someone might be like, well, maybe I'll go get a little lift, and how much is that going to cost? They need to remember when they're considering these things that getting a smile makeover can actually make one look not only healthier, more attractive, boost their confidence, but it can reverse kind of the hands of time,
some of the aging process.
Because what you can do with this beautiful thing of designing smiles and creating these veneers that you can even build out the teeth right on the inside to create more volume. I mean, people don't think about that, right? I mean, I do because
You're in the business.
I'm in the business.
Well, and people have this misnomer that doing a smile makeover are for people that are in the public eye all the time. That is not it at all. We all want to feel good about who we are as a person. We all want to look in the mirror and go, I'm having a good day. And some days we don't have those good days.
Right.
But a smile is something, when you feel good about that, everybody sees it.
Yeah.
Everybody sees it. You radiate that excitement of who you are. And it just makes you feel good for having that smile.
And I know we're going to get to me, which is the most important thing on this show. No, I'm just kidding. But, I know that you all, I've heard you talk about this, is that you have patients that they have a smile makeover. And over again, you'll hear these stories. I just got goosebumps because you'll hear stories of people say, I didn't want to smile before, but now I smile and I feel happier, because scientifically, if you smile more, you actually are happier.
That's exactly right.
But someone has their mouth closed all the time, they might be perceived as grouchier or doing that resting whatever face you like to talk about.
RBF.
But having their smile transformed changes lives.
Yes.
And that's why I love that you're going to do this series of highlighting people with smile stories, because we're talking about human beings and their lives you change. It's not just about the gorgeous teeth that you do, which is a big deal, but about what is the impact into their lives, into their relationships, into their work, just everything.
That's exactly right. I mean, Jill can attest to this. Anytime that we see the case at the office, and I usually give them their mirror afterwards, and the patient is crying and I'm crying too. So I am the biggest sap in the world. So when I get that response from somebody, it's not so much that it makes me feel good as a practitioner. It makes me feel good as a person, because I've given that life back to someone that desperately wanted it for themselves.
Absolutely.
And they don't have, you come in with these preconceived notions of what it could or should or would look like, but the finished product is always a surprise, and it makes you feel good whenever you.
It's not a surprise for you.
It's not a surprise for me.
You know
because
it's
I know
coming.
what's coming, but it is a surprise for the patient, and it's a surprise for me when I see the surprise and the happiness in their
that
face.
part.
Yes.
Absolutely. And I will say, too, it's not always just about the cosmetics. Now, we always think about the cosmetic result that's going to be in the end result. But many times we're talking functional issues. People who've lost teeth, can't chew as well. And we know with our digestion, if we're not chewing our food well, that's where it all starts. That our digestive tract can really have a hard time if we're not chewing our food properly before it ever goes down.
Well, a lot of people don't know that, though, what you just said.
you're right.
You
A
all
lot of
know
people
that.
don't.
You're very wellness oriented. So masticating your food properly, if you're just gulping it down, not able to chew it, that's going to cause all sorts of problems.
It
Right.
does. So when we're talking about this, yes, we're excited. We always love the cosmetic side of it. Who doesn't? That's what everybody else sees. But we love the functional side of it. The patients love the functional side of it too. We may be restoring people, like you said, just simply who could not chew properly or who had a lot of pain because where they had gotten to was not supporting them properly. And so it was creating all kinds of muscular headaches and pain. And when we restore that bite and get them to the right place, they're pain-free as well. So who doesn't smile when they're pain-free?
Absolutely.
And that's where we're also talking about the investment. And that investment is, investing in a pain-free, more pleasant life, right? And investing in the aesthetic side of it too. I just think it's a phenomenal thing to discuss and share, because when you hear these stories, and it's kind of like, I think, aha moments happen for yourself. So if with our viewers or listeners, might look in the mirror now and go, wait, maybe I might consider that, or am I uncomfortable, or is there something wrong? And maybe cosmetic fixing my smile would help me.
Absolutely. So if people do not want to get in front of the camera, and actually open their lips to smile, ding, 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 or you're the ones we're talking to,
or they're covering up their mouth whenever they're talking.
You're the one.
And that's the first thing that I say. We'll have a cosmetic consultation come into the office, and somebody will have their hand up talking to me, and I'm like, you don't feel comfortable with your smile.
Yeah.
And they don't even realize they're doing it a lot of the times. It's that they've gotten so used to it that they just posture themselves that way. And I will say to them, do you realize that you cover your mouth when you're talking?
And they don't
realize it.
Right.
And if that is you, there's something we can do to help you.
Absolutely.
There is something out there, whether it be ortho or whether it be veneers or crowns or opening your bite. There's something that we can do for you to make it a better experience for you.
Absolutely. Well, Laura,
Yes.
one great thing, you're always here being a fabulous co-host.
Thank you.
But I also wanted you to be here today because not only you, but your husband Randy also have had some smile stories. And you
Yes.
both have been so wonderful to agree to share your stories with us.
Right. Yes. Yes. Well, I talked about this a little bit before on our series, and again, you got to go back, go find that series on Smile Makeovers. You'll learn so much. But I came to Dr. Jody Dana, who I love. I was widowed. I had a tragic loss. I was a young widow, and my daughters were only 6 and 3. And I'd got into television. I was in television. Started to do that after I was doing radio before, and I did a little bit of TV. But the point is this: is that I went and I had somebody do my teeth initially, because I was on camera, and I wanted my teeth to look pretty, and I wanted to restore my confidence that I had lost when I had such a tragic loss. So it really was a great boosting for me. But then when I met Dr. Jody Dana here, she was like, we can do better. And she was like, we're going to fix all that, because there is a right and a wrong way to do veneers, right? And so I was like, you know what? This is going to be a real important thing I want to do, and I want to invest in my smile. And I just started with my uppers, and she gave me gorgeous teeth that people all the time were just like, you have a gorgeous smile. And I felt confident when I would smile. And, when you are on camera and you're talking a lot and people are looking at you and you see your pictures, and, it's really important. But then we recently just did my lowers, because here's the thing. We did the uppers like a decade ago or something like that.
8 or 9 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the lowers I got
colored.
I got older, and they got darker. And so I noticed, and I know
It's a
you
big
know,
transition.
you
I was
noticed.
like, we got to fix that.
I know you
transition.
noticed. And she was like, we got to take care of that. But I had noticed in pictures that it was darker, and when I'd laugh, and and I started to become a bit self-conscious. And so doing the lowers was just I feel like $1 million. I got to tell you.
And you look like it. Too.
Oh, thank you so much. No, I really do. I feel complete, and I don't know. Does that?
That's a perfect
absolutely.
explanation.
I do feel complete,
Perfectly.
and I feel fortunate, and I'm so happy that I wanted to invest in that in myself, because not only do I feel more confident, and I feel like I could open my mouth and laugh and whatever, and I'm not going to cover my mouth, which I was starting to do a little when I'd laugh. But also, I had very sensitive teeth, like to hot and cold and everything else. My teeth would hurt, even getting my teeth cleaned. And me having veneers is like armor on my teeth. Not just armor, but gorgeous veneer armor.
She has 5-star armor.
5-star armor. I love it.
True. It's true. And a lot of people don't think about that. So if you do have sensitive teeth, this is just I've told so many people this. It's just the best part about, the second best part about having my smile redone. So that's my story, is that, I would not have done it any other way. I am thrilled and excited and so, so grateful that Dr. Jody Dana transformed my smile.
It was a privilege and an honor.
Thank you so much.
Privilege and
So
an
let's
honor.
talk about my husband.
I was going to just share one other little tip.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people think that the cosmetic zone is only the upper teeth. And it is for most people. Okay. But as we do age and our collagen in our face gets a little bit loose, our lower lip actually begins to drop down just a little bit more and reveal more of our lower teeth. So it is something that we do tend to see maybe a decade later, maybe 2 decades later. Somebody maybe had an upper, kind of smile design done, and then a decade or so later, when you start to reveal and see your lower teeth more, then that's when I think people
That's when
start
changes start happening.
Yeah.
to want to add the lower arch.
Right. The lower arch, the lower teeth. And so even when you do that, because of that loss of volume as well, you get to say, well, guess what?
Yes, it's time.
But I also get to build up, right? You get to build up inside to make me have a little bit more volume and have that more youthful look again.
Absolutely.
And that's another part of it, is that it's just this beautiful thing that you can do for yourself. And so I'm thrilled.
Well, we're glad you're thrilled. And we are super grateful that you are willing to share your smile story
Yes.
and Randy's smile story.
Yeah.
Because this is what people need to hear.
Yeah.
We could talk about it all day long.
Okay.
But we are the dentist. We know a little too much about everything.
Right.
So I think it's even more
impactful.
impactful.
It's impactful
Exactly.
to hear
When
it
you
from,
hear it
from
from-
you, from somebody that we have
Exactly.
changed lives with.
So let's talk about my husband.
so
and I call him my new husband. He hates that. He's like, well, I'm just your husband. But I am a newlywed of, we actually knew each other in high school, but that's for a whole nother show to talk about. So Randy, we're newlyweds 11 months ago. We got married. And when I got together with Randy, he had gone to a dentist, and you know, because I know you all and I'm in your world quite a bit, and I noticed his veneers, and he'd only had 6 done on top. And apparently he was born, you know, genetically, there was his mom's side of the family had smaller teeth. And so he got the smaller teeth. So he called them his chiclets, his little chiclets, and felt like he needed to do something back in the day. So he went to just his dentist, his regular dentist, that said, oh, I can do that for you. And they did kind of like substandard job.
maybe
and
the
he,
best that they were trained
and
to
he
do,
didn't know.
right?
Okay,
If you don't know, you don't know.
He didn't know.
Yep.
And I, you know, I was like, you know, we could probably do a little better than that or so. But I wasn't, you know, pushing or anything. And so when I went through my process with
For your
you,
lowers.
for my lowers,
Yes.
and he was with me every step of the way. And you know, you started mentioning
I started
a little
looking
bit,
at him and go, Randy, let's take a look at that.
but it wasn't. But what was really interesting, and you can talk about this, Jody, is that about the issues in his mouth was far beyond just.
It wasn't
those-
just aesthetics.
So let me just mention this. So before you dive into that, Randy, I don't know. It was so interesting that all of a sudden he was just inspired to have his teeth done, you know, have his teeth done. So share with us about that.
So Randy came in and he was so wonderful because he was with you literally every step of the way. And during the course of our conversation, I could see that he wasn't showing any of his teeth when he talked at all. And he had an abrupt stop. So people make a decision to change their smile based on what they think that they see. And that's one thing that we want to point out. Just because you're talking, you need to make sure that you're capturing all of the teeth that people see whenever they're out there.
Yes.
So we couldn't see any of Randy's teeth. And he was hurting.
Yeah.
And so
And he didn't know
he
it.
didn't realize that he was hurting. So I said, we're going to get you in the chair and we're going to have a conversation about this. And we did. And we changed his smile. And I'm so thankful because he looks, it's so funny because he said, I want to look like John Bon Jovi. He's like,
He
"I
does
love-
look like John.
He does
does.
look like John Bon Jovi. He really does.
He does. And he does now even more so. But there was something about his back teeth weren't touching.
That at all. He had no occlusion. So when he bit down, and this is something that we see a lot, we really do, because people are so focused on the anterior cosmetics, they forget that the posterior teeth have to fit together. So when they redid his teeth up at the top, they didn't give him articulation or a way to masticate his food in the back. So he was only hitting on one molar on both sides. And it was painful to his jaw.
Right.
And not only that, it was causing the problems with the back teeth as far as the pain is concerned, because we call that in our world traumatic occlusion or a traumatic bite, because you're pounding on specific teeth.
Right.
But now we redid everything.
His whole mouth.
He was
like all in. He goes, I'm doing it all.
Yeah.
And you said, we've got to do it all.
We've got to do it all. We can't piecemeal it together
because you're
building back the whole bite. So you can't just do it on one side or upper only and then not the lower. You have to do it all at the same time.
And it has to do with health and being able to chew it. And that's one thing after he talked to you initially with the consultation about what was happening. I said, really, darling, this is about your long-term health.
This is health.
This is really health for you because of that. So, anyway, so now what does he do? He smiles
all the time.
And he smiles so broadly.
And I'm so proud.
And I call him Hollywood.
Oh.
I mean, he really does. He's such a handsome guy.
Yes.
But
now you're the Hollywood couple.
Oh,
you are the Hollywood couple, not just because of your teeth.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. But so we're so appreciative. I'm appreciative. And it's just been amazing to watch Randy just transform. He was confident before, but he's really confident like that.
now.
They smile, So
That's
it's
what
great.
we restore, confidence.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So thank you. So I think that's about. But you'll see in this show, we'll go ahead and share some of our own testimonials that will
and go to our website.
Yes,
we have tons of testimonials on our website.
Hi, I'm Randy Edwards, and I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico. So now that I've had both my uppers and lowers redone, I've become more confident. I smile a lot more. I smile bigger. I'm happier, much more confident than I was before. So I highly recommend Dr. Jody Dana of Stonebriar Smile Design.
Hi, I'm Laura Lewis Edwards from Santa Fe, New Mexico. Dr. Jody Dana did my upper veneers a decade ago. I'd actually gone to another cosmetic dentist, probably another 10 years before that. And when she saw my veneers initially, and I was on television as a host and thought I was doing the right thing, she really wanted me to have maybe a more refined smile. So we went ahead and did my upper veneers. And again, that was like 10 years ago. Now, just recently, we decided to do my lower veneers because she thought I just needed to match. And when I smile, just like a lot of people, in general, only my upper teeth show. But when I laugh and open my mouth up to talk, I realized, you could really see my lower teeth. So when we did my lower veneers, it was just a complete 100% all the way across, molars to molars on the bottom, as well as totally on the top now. I have a full, beautiful, new smile, compliments of Dr. Jody Dana. And I have to tell you, I feel fantastic. I see pictures of myself and I notice my smile looks better, even though people said I already had a great smile. There's just something about that, to just have the whole smile just really look beautiful and white, and it makes me feel really confident. So I highly recommend Dr. Jody Dana of Stonebriar Smile Design.
Well, thank you for sharing with
You're
us.
welcome.
We really do appreciate it. Like I said, I think our audience certainly responds best when they hear it from y'all's mouths.
Yes.
So I just want to thank you both so much for being here with me today on the Beyond Face Value Show.
Thank you.
And we look forward to the next episodes. If you or one of your friends is interested in becoming our next Smile Story, then be sure to share our podcast with your friends and family. Also, to help us grow and expand our reach, be sure to like and subscribe to this show on YouTube or your favorite podcast platforms such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or whatever you prefer. Just remember, it's time to live your legacy now. I'm Dr. Jill Wade, and this has been the Beyond Face Value Show. Until next time.